Hey everyone, my name is Cecile. I'm money coach for female coach consultants and industry experts. And if you are always pressed for time, not having time enough to do the things that you want to do in your business, and every day it feels like you have more to do, right? And you have your all the tasks that you want to accomplish for the day, and you have 10 things to do, and you've done 7 things. That 3 things needs to be done for the next day, and the next day is to have 10 more adds up, and it feels like it's never ending story, and the list goes on and on and on and on. It never ever feels like, okay, how do I grow my business? How do I scale? Because if this came up in my income accelerator program, when I was talking to a female entrepreneur, and she told me that she is working like ass off, like 16 hours a day. I told her, like, you can't yourself a burnt out. Like, you can't keep on doing that for like long time. It's not just sustainable. That so if you're feeling like that, and if you're having feeling overwhelmed in your business, that you feel like too much that you need to do, and you feel like you never have me time, and you never have more time to grow and scale the business, this video live series is for you, because I'm going to walk you through the process of how do you come up with what you need to do so that you have more time to focus on things that matters to you in the business life and personal life as well. So the first things first, that if you're saying that if you're saying that I don't have time to do X, Y, and Z, maybe there's a different way of looking at it. Maybe what you're saying is I don't have a team, rather than I don't have a time. Now, there's a difference between I don't have a time, but I don't have a team. Now, how do you have a team? Is by investing in people that you want to work with. Now, when you want to invest in people, that you need funding, you need cash to invest in people. That's when this whole thing, cash flow forecasting, that how much that what they can afford to hire next team member or not, that depends what your cash flow suggests, because you have to take into account so many factors as a business owner that you're in. So you have to pay for regular fixed expenses, you have to pay for ongoing other like taxes and the VATs and the sales taxes, depending on which country you're in. You also have to pay yourself, because you're responsible for yourself as an individual working for that business as well. And if you have any cash cushion left, then you can think about investing in other people. But which one first? Like, how do you go about this one? What's the process of detailed step-by-step process of exactly doing this to come up with a strategy that yes, you have a buying pattern, or you have a buying purchasing power to do that or not. That's when this cash flow forecasting comes into handy. Imagine that you have this information, what your cash position will look like in 3 months time today. And we'll look at, now we're at the end of February 2021 as we record this. That's March, April, May. Imagine that you have a report that suggests to you what your cash position, your cash balance will look like based on your current activities at the end of May today, and how much that knowledge is going to help you to make a decision whether you can afford to hire the next person in the business or not. And then, so that's the power of cash flow forecasting that comes into play. So you won't be in a position that you have this cash flow forecast in place, and there's so many templates out there that can help you to do that. If you do want to if you don't have a cash flow template, then they can you can just put cash flow template in the comments below. Then, and I'll get from some of my team to get the cash flow template to reach out to make it available for you, because that's like your tool that you have that will help you to have this cash flow forecasting in place. Because then you're looking at, based on facts, that what your cash person will look like. You can start building scenarios that whether you have 1%, 2%, 3%, what it's going to look like, depending on whether they're investing on people on cash generating activities or not. It is something that you're building for the future. That if it is, that does it have a runway? Does it have a bandwidth? Does it can cover for the next 3 6 months? The devil is in the detail. And so you look at this information in your cash flow forecast, and this will tell you that whether you can afford to hire an next team member or not. And guys, and I've learned it so much in along the way, that in the last few years, that step back and try to micromanage and things like that. And that's a whole different thing that we could talk about another day. But the mindset shift and all those things that well, no one can do a better job than me, and only I can do this, or only I should do this. And what if that other people doesn't do the job well as I do? That how do I train and things like that? But um, desperate times come desperate measures. So that's what I found out, and I started to develop my own process of how do I start delegating the whole thing. And I just follow DAD DAD in the process. I just go like, okay, so what are the things that I can delete first? Even if I don't delete, if I don't do that task, my business will still run as smoothly as possible. So deletion comes first. Then comes the automation part. So what can I automate? So that system does the heavy lifting for me, so that I don't have to rely on myself as an individual, nor I have to rely on other people to do that. And then I come to like, oh, what can I delegate to that person so that I don't have to do that anymore? And then I can go to what I want, wherever I want to go, much faster. So I just take the process of DAD, 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 and that's and in part of delegation bit, and that's where it comes to like, when can I do it? What can I invest, and how much can I invest? Like, what do I need to bring in? Like, what kind of like remuneration that you have to pay to get the right candidate to do that level of job? Because you have to remember that we can hire a if you give an example of Premier League football player, a Premier League football player plays for a, a team which who plays for like to just to survive in the Premier League, or someone who is playing in the top of the game or plays for like the Manchester United or Manchester Cities who is trying to win the league. So there's a difference between the candidate's skills level and attitude towards the game. They are still a professional football player. So you want to be careful that when you bring in team member as well, so you want to bring in at the right level candidate that's advocate for your business, where you are heading into, that fits in your culture, and so on and so forth. And that and so you have to pay them accordingly as well. So you don't pay the same salary as who's playing for a Manchester United, Manchester City versus someone who's in the league for 20th in position, who's probably going to go down to the championship. It's the same thing. You don't pay, for tennis player like and who's winning the league as opposed to someone who's just trying to to get into Grand Slam. You see, so but they're all professionals, and the same way. So you have to be careful on when you're hiding uh, uh, on the team members as well. So you that requires your cash flow, how much you want to invest in the person, because if you don't pay well, and that person will leave, just simply because he or she doesn't want to have to stick with you. Because you have to help them to help you to help you. That's how you work. You give, and then you shall receive. You give them, you make them feel special. You then make them feel heard. You make them feel part of what you do, and that's why it's so crucial to have this balancing act going on in your business. And that's how I've been building my team, that over the years, that who connects with me at deeper level, that we can go for a very very long time, because business is a marathon, and we cannot do it ourselves. We cannot do it ourselves, and we need to build a team that follows your passion, your vision, mission, who will help you to support your vision to execute them to the level that you want to execute them. So you need the right level candidate. And for that, you do need to make investment. And that requires cash flow. Without cash, nothing happens in the business. That's one of the fundamentals of scaling the business. And that's the thing in acronym what I talk about, C, which stands for cash flow. So if you're saying that I'm so much pressed for time that I don't have me time anymore, I'm working like 16 hours plus that, I don't know what do I do. Like, when can I afford to hire the next person so that I can delegate some of the tasks that I don't need to do? I hate to do it, but as a business owner, until we hit like seven figures plus or something, and high level seven figures, that we do most of the work as we have to wear multiple hats. We do a lot of tasks that we don't want to do, but we do it because because it's our business. It's our business. So we have a responsibility to our business. So that's the thing that I want to talk to you today. That And if you do need help with creating cash flow forecast in your business, then do type cash flow in the comments below, and make sure that you get a copy of that, and so that you can move forward and in the business much faster. Then you can think about, you can start building scenarios what your cash flow will look like in a few months time today, and based on that, and then you're making decisions based on facts, not fiction, not gut instincts. And you will also feel so much comfortable about making decisions, because you know what's happening, or what has happened, what's going to happen in your business. So that's the thing that I want to share with you today. So if you got any questions on this, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. Mohit said cash flow. Yes, cash flow. Yeah, it's one of the pieces of the puzzle that it's really surprising, really, that why 82% in the business in the world, they struggle with this word. And what I've also come across more is that they think that it's more like heavy word, like oh, cash flow, and like, I'm not even ready for that, because that's exactly what a female entrepreneur said to me about a few weeks ago, that I'm not ready for cash flow. And so, like, what do you mean by that? It's just my cash coming in and cash going out. That whether you have like $100 coming in, $100 going out, or $1,000 coming in, 1,000 going out, 100,000 going out, it's still cash flow. It's just a mindset shift that you need to have, because someone who's bringing $100,000 and only had $10,000 in the bank account, he or she is equally worried, concerned, anxious, like, and feeling the pain, and having sleepless night, as someone who's generating, or let's say, $10,000 a month, and only having $1,000 in his or her bank account. And that's the same. They all have the same pain at the same level. It's just the number of zeros is different, because the stage and scale of the business they are in are different. So and that's it. And then how do you manage the incomings and outgoings in such a way that your business will still be smooth, that your cash inflow line as well as cash outflow line is on the same level. That's the name of the game, or at least you have this gas input line going up, and at least stay the same gas going out, and it goes down. And the margin, that how you squeeze that margin, and that is what I call the name of the game. And the name of the game is simply to stay in the game until you win the game. So how to win that game is to manage, you structure your cash flow properly in such a way that it doesn't matter whether you have $10,000 cash coming in or $100,000 cash coming in. If you manage to have equal in proportion to keep your cash margin at the same level that you want to keep that going out, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. And so that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. So if you are thinking that, oh, I have so much to do, like it's Friday at evening, and most people are thinking about going out for having a meal or something, and I'm stuck here doing a lot of things that I'm doing that I meant to do for yesterday. I still haven't even touched my today's work, and this is for you. So what you need is to have a cash flow forecast that tells you that when you can start to have more people, when you can do, what you can't do, and as soon as you can, then do it, because that's going to free up your time to do things that will make your business move much faster, that will move the needle much faster in your business. So that's the thing that I want to talk to you about today. So if you've got any questions here, then I'll be more than happy to answer. And if you have any friends that who think that it will be valuable for them to be in this live call every Friday at 4 p.m. GMT, that we go, yes, I pick one thing and one thing only that I do with one in our program. There's something that I take the snippet out from that one, and we just start talking about this so that it can help you, because that is just so current, that is so raw, and that conversation and that might just be you have that question you have in your head right now as well, and thinking that way only, I pick up that topic to start talking about it with the hope that this will help you in your business journey. So yeah, if you got friends that who would benefit from being in this live call every Friday at 4 p.m. GMT, and I'll be more than happy that you could invite them. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, and pretty so, and I post a video every Wednesday at 4 p.m. GMT for now, and we're going to move to every Tuesday in a few weeks' time. But it will be a weekly videos, one episode a video a week until June, July, and that's the thing I want to share with you today. So, well, thank you very much, and have a great day. And I'll see you next week.